So we'll go first, of course. We're an evolution deck, so going first is very good. I don't want to put Aegislash into play until I know what I'm up against. So I'm going to put Bronzor into play, and then we can Escape Rope. Well, this isn't necessarily the Australian metagame, right? This is, you're up against anyone and everyone. So, okay, we're up against an Eternatus deck, so Aegislash not very important for that. We're gonna go Quick Ball, discard a Metal Energy. We want that Snorlax. I think Snorlax will be good here. Yep. We really don't need to fret much about getting KO'd turn 2, so the Bronzor is a bit spooky on its own. There is a reasonable chance that it gets knocked out by Power Accelerator. So maybe you make the argument, but we'll take it easy here. Because we got Metal Saucer, we potentially got access to Corviknight VMAX turn 2, so it's quite good. It's 5 AM for you, yeah. Yeah, I guess it is pretty wild then. All the late night masters testing their spooky lists. So, this is looking like a fairly standard Eternatus VMAX list. These days they run the Weavile alongside Galarian Moltres V. You have an easier time, 5 AM. True. So this will just be our opponent going through the motions. Probably wanted a basic Pokemon there rather than the Weavile GX, but it's fine to pick that up. The Great Ball obviously can only take whatever it finds in the top 7 cards, so it was probably the pick of the bunch that they wanted. Power Accelerator doesn't get an energy acceleration, so that's good for us. So here, we bench a Corviknight, play a Swell, attach an energy, Quick Ball. We're actually going to go for Dedenne here. It is possible that we could go a bit slower, but I don't want to play it too slow against Eternatus VMAX. So, we've got an Evolution. We're juicing now. Let's put an energy there. It's safe here because this is not getting one shot. You know, you've got Lustrous Body, protects me from the Galarian Zigzagoon snipes. So, my opponent, if they want to take a knockout on Corviknight, they're attacking it twice no matter what. Evolve that one, we're going to bench another Bronzor, and that shores up our access to Bronzong throughout the game. Research. Just got an opportunity to accelerate an energy here, so we'll do that. But we're going to put the energy here, it keeps it safe. Keeps it safe. I don't necessarily want to Quick Ball Metal Saucer here. But we could do it to thin our hand, and that's not a bad idea too, so we'll do that. Thin our hand, we'll leave these in deck. We're going to Metal Saucer. Touch the energy there again. Again, because this is a fairly safe place for those energies to be. We can search and fail, and then we'll Gormandize and see what we get. There's probably an argument there to keep that Incense in hand, but it also helped us get to these switches, so that ensures that our next turn is going to be an attack. It would have been nice to take a knockout on the Eternatus V there, but not to be, never mind. There, they've locked up their full bench for the rest of the game. This is where you need an Avery. But Any space that I would take up with Avery in this deck, I'd rather take up with Cheryl, because it's better in more matchups, so that's alright. So what are you gonna do? Okay. So they're having to think, they're like, oh, maybe I want to use the boss. Maybe they should have. They could have taken the KO on the... Oh, actually, I don't think they could take a KO anywhere. They could knock out a Bronzong or a Bronzor. So I think they only have 30, 60, 90, 120, 150. You would need a Galarian Zigzagoon drop on the Dedenne to pull that off, so... Probably better just to set up. Darkmoon GX is interesting. And maybe you've got the chance to swap 6 energy onto it for Darkmoon GX's secondary effect. It's an interesting thought. I'd never thought to put it into the deck, but it makes sense. It's kind of a win more card though, because... yeah. It's hard to imagine getting that many energy into play, but like, I guess with Galarian Moltres, that's quite doable. Okay, so we're going to put this in the active. And here we go. So, we'll put the energy here for now. Do I want a Marnie here? Kind of. Kind of want a Marnie. Kind of want to keep the switches. But they're not that important. They're not that important. I could go the Dedenne instead here. And just get rid of it all. I think I like that. It puts us closer to the Cheryls, which is what we need. Yep. Evolution Incense here lets us get the other Corviknight. Let's have a think here now. I could Marnie my opponent and stuff their hand a little bit. I don't know if it does anything for us. I think I also like just keeping these 3 cards, because you just don't know. Having another research in the deck might help if I get stamped or something. I don't know if Eternatus VMAX runs stamp anymore, but maybe. So what we're going to do is just move some energy over here. Okay, let the games begin, I guess. What we don't want to have happen is to allow our opponent to knock out a VMAX at all, if we can help it. It's a bit of a tall order, but we'll try our best. Try our best. So our opponent could take 5 prizes by knocking out the Dedennes and a Bronzong, but they would need 3 consecutive bosses to pull that off. Doable with this deck, I guess, but they've already thrown a boss out, and I'm not sure that they would run the 4, right? They probably don't, so... There's the research, so no boss this turn. Would not be surprised to see it on the following, though. But, in any case, it's not a 1 game by any means for either side so far. I'm going to quick ball the Corviknight here, because we don't need it anymore. So we've got 1 Cheryl in deck. The other one should be prized in that case. Yeah. So we're going to Marnie, because our opponent decided to leave their Eternatus active. It's fine. Still didn't hit the Cheryl. We're gonna move all the energy off this. I almost feel like I need a Metal GX Pokemon that can take advantage of all the extra energy that I have. Oh, I have to worry about this actually. 5. Can they do it next turn? Yeah, they could. So actually, I'm gonna move them off. You have to worry about it. We're gonna spread it around. Okay. Yep. So the most energy I lose from the board is 1. And that's good for us. Hopefully we get the Cheryl. And we can really lock this game up. No, we didn't get the Cheryl, but at least we get to demonstrate the strength of this deck, right? Just has a lot of HP, does a lot of damage. It's sturdy and it's stable. We get to bounce the energy around, preserve it. Okay, Marnie will put us close to Cheryl, so I don't mind. I don't mind that. It's good. Oof. Oof. And now you get to see the power of this deck. Because by my calculations, it'll be 46, so 460 damage that we take off the board with Cheryl. And that'll be absolutely crushing for my opponent to have to play against, to play into, and deal with. We'll see. Yep. So I have to retreat it. That's always going to happen. We use Metal Transfer. Cheryl, we heal all of that damage. So we just completely eliminated like 2 turns worth of attacking from the board. Sorry mate, you're gonna have to sit through this animation. You bully the Aussie players in theme deck meta? That's funny. We actually can't recover anything with Metal Saucer, which is interesting. There's just no metal energy to grab. So now our opponent's at 1. And we've got our other Cheryl, so that's good. What will you do? This is a very difficult position for Eternatus. I only need to find boss and I win. Yeah. I think they accidentally targeted one of the VMAXs with Headbutt Tantrum earlier in the game. Not sure. Yep. Okay. They're throwing out the well played. I guess we'll say well played. Question mark. And we get the boss right off the top. Very cool. And that, my friends, is the power of Corviknight VMAX. It is good. I think that this deck is good at the moment. You've got a good matchup on Ice Rider Calyrex. You've got the ability to heal damage really well. There are some matchups that are a bit rough for it. I think that, like, Rapid Strike Urshifu is rough because if you don't get this Mew into play, these get knocked out by Urshifu. So that's something to consider. But yeah, I like it. It's good. You got this Aegislash here to deal with Decidueye, just in case that gives you some grief. One Capture Energy here, just a cheeky one to help you set up. Snorlax is cool. I like Snorlax. Lets you set up with Gourmandize. And then you've got the Dedennes there too. So I can certainly see this deck being pushed and pulled in different directions. You could try and go like the full tank style and try and set this thing up to take more than 2 hits from other hard hitting Pokemon maybe. But I like this. I think this is a good balance between winning the game by taking knockouts as well as using Cheryl and Bronzong to provide yourself with a different win condition, I guess. So, you know, one of your win conditions is to take KOs with boss's orders, but Cheryl also lets you just heal damage off and just nullify an opponent's turn and completely just turn the tables on them. So, yeah. It's interesting. I like this deck a lot. So yeah. I might YouTube this game, actually. So, if I do put this on YouTube and you are watching it there, please subscribe. If you're watching this VOD on Twitch, follow. I'd really appreciate it.